Good evening, everyone. Welcome to York Observatory's Teletube, the online astronomy and astrophysics program written and presented by the students, faculty, alumni, and friends of York University. We're broadcasting live from the Alan I. Carswell Observatory located at York University in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. Teletube broadcast every Wednesday night at 7:30 local Toronto time. And for any questions or comments about our past shows, or if you have any suggestions for future topics, please send us an email at observe@yorku.ca. You can also connect with us on Twitter or Instagram with the handle at York Observatory and Facebook at Alan I. Carswell Ops. I'm Matt, and I'll be one of your hosts this evening, along with Arfa Maheen, Diane, and Dr. Hyde. Tonight, we've got a great and unique episode called Celestial Pursuit, an astronomy and theme trivia game with the help of our wonderful panelists tonight, Dr. Jess McIver, Dr. Parandis Tachbach, Dr. Sarah Mazrui, and Dr. Hilding Nielsen. Moreover, we will also have the pleasure to be accompanied by Celia Du from RCI Science, as well as Scary, Judy, and Kirsten from Space Blaze. Full house tonight and ready for some fun and action with the games we prepared for tonight. Thank you for being part of such an amazing and special episode with us. But before anything, the observatory at your campus is in Toronto. And to welcome you to our show, we would like to acknowledge the traditional land that our telescope is on. The observatory acknowledges its presence on the traditional territory of many indigenous nations. The area known as Sikaranto has been taken care of the Anishinaabe Nation, the Haudenosaunee Confederacy, the Huron-Wendat, and the Métis. It is now home to many indigenous peoples. We acknowledge the current treaty holders, the Mississaugas of the Credit First Nation. Our stargazing and astronomical efforts are but the latest in a very long history of astronomy in this area. Now, I'll let Sergey guide us to what we're able to behold in the sky tonight. Take it away, or Professor Hayden in this case.
Thanks, Matt. Yes, indeed, I am Professor Hyde. So I'm sorry for those of you who are hoping for Sergey. He is actually out helping the 60-centimeter telescope this evening. So I will be telling you a little bit about what's up in the sky this week. So I'll be, if you will, your replacement Sergey for this evening. Before we get started with our main event, just because this is an astronomy show, if you do go outside and look uppity, what will you find? Well, we have all kinds of interesting things up in the sky, not just planets. We also have the Pleiades Open Cluster, which is a really lovely, lovely object. It's a naked eye object, but it's also absolutely amazing through binoculars. So if you get a chance to go out and so after about 8 p.m. or so tonight, have a look up at the Pleiades. And this open cluster is really interesting terminology. If you haven't heard of open clusters before, those are areas of stars that are grouped together because they have formed in the same region. And they tend to have lots of beautiful, big, bright blue stars. Those stars are, of course, only present in very young areas because they don't live very long. The bigger the star is, the faster it burns out its fuel and ends its lifetime. So those big, beautiful, bright blue stars in the Pleiades are nice and high in the sky, and they're actually not too far away. If you're doing binoculars or maybe a small telescope, you can hop on over and see the planet Uranus and the Andromeda Nebula, which is actually not a nebula at all. So the Andromeda Nebula is actually a galaxy. It's our nearest neighbor galaxy, not counting dwarf galaxies, of course. The Andromeda Nebula is, once it was realized to be a galaxy, that was quite the revolution in the 1920s, thanks to the work of many, many people, including, of course, someone you may have heard of, Edwin Hubble. And it was determined basically to be separate, an entire region of stars all to itself. So although, Andromeda is, another galaxy, you may have heard that the universe is expanding. Andromeda is actually shifting towards us. It's gravitationally attracted to the Milky Way. It's not far enough away to be expanding with the rest of the universe. So eventually the Andromeda galaxy will actually come up and join with the Milky Way, making some new galaxy, which we'll have to call something else in about, well, quite a few billion years. So just as a little follow-up, if you're looking outside and you're trying to catch some of the interesting planets, which tend to be amongst the brightest things that you're going to be able to see, Mercury is rising around 6 a.m. and setting around 3 p.m. So it's very difficult to see the closest planet to the sun. Venus has great visibility, though. Go one planet out farther, nice and bright. It rises around 4:36 a.m. and sets around 2:28 p.m. So it's actually, very, very nicely positioned in the sky. So if you think you see a star during the day, that might well be Venus flying by. Now, Mars is average around this time. So Mars rises around 5 a.m. and sets around 2 p.m., which makes it not great. So maybe if you are catching very, very, very early mornings, you might be able to get Mars. And Jupiter has a similar problem. It rises with the sun and sets with the sun. Saturn is difficult, but Uranus actually rises around 9:37 a.m. and sets at 11:39 p.m., which means this is a great time to go out and try to see it. It's actually very, very dim, so you will need binoculars to make it out amongst all of the other things up there. Likewise, Neptune, extremely, extremely dim. So with all of those planets up in the sky, you also may be able to find the moon in its last quarter phase, illumination of about 55%. And tomorrow morning, if you wake up early in the east after sunrise, you'll actually have Moon, Venus, and Mars around 5 a.m. all together. So I don't know, early risers or late to bed should be pretty fun. So tonight we are going to be playing, as mentioned by Matt, a whole bunch of games. This is Celestial Pursuit. We will be playing Astronomers along with several others. So for you lovers of astronomy, be you PhD, graduate, or interested amateurs, or just enthusiasts from anywheres, we'll actually go ahead and, get started with our wonderful games. And to get to the games, of course, we're going to need panelists. So that's right. Let's head over and see if we can introduce our wonderful panelists. So we have 4 amazing panelists who we have convinced to try to play 3 games in one show. So this is going to be quite the expedition, if you will. And our panelists, to start off, I'm going to actually ask each of our panelists to sort of come on in order and say a quick word about themselves for introduction. So to start off, I have Dr. Parandis Tajbakhsh, and she is a lecturer in astronomy and astrophysics at York. She's had her PhD in 2009 from the University of Toronto, and she worked on amazing, interesting topology within Einstein's theory of general relativity. Fascinating stuff. So Parandis, come on and say hi.
Hi, good evening, everyone. It's great to be here. Thanks so much for having me, Elena. So yeah, I'm Parandis, and I teach astronomy, astrobiology, and also a course on the history of extraterrestrial life debate. I did a PhD, as Elena said, in mathematics of general relativity, and then I also did another graduate degree at York in history and philosophy of science in science and technology studies. That's where I came across the whole field of history of extraterrestrial debate, and it has remained very dear to me. So right now, as of now, I am very much interested in the developments in astrobiology and how it will affect any discovery of extraterrestrial life. It would affect the followers of different religions. So I am, in fact, interested, if you want, in the interaction between science and religion. I did some work at York, of course, on evolution and the reception of evolution in Victorian Canada, but that has nothing to do with my astronomy background. So thanks for having me.
Wonderful. That sounds really fascinating. And of course, we're looking forward to little spoiler alert, lots more about Uranus and Herschel, maybe an episode for the future. But let's go ahead and move on. Next on our sort of list of panelists introductions, I have to go ahead and introduce Dr. Sarah Mazrui, who's a planetary scientist, educational developer, scientist extraordinaire. Sarah, please tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for the introduction, Elena. I'm a planetary scientist at heart. I love airless bodies, the moon, asteroids, rocks, craters. That's my jam, really. I teach a course called Life and Death in the Solar System, which I think is the best course ever, but that's just my opinion. Other than that, as Elena mentioned, I work as an educational developer. So that's basically research into best teaching practices or talking about best teaching and learning practices. And I also do a little bit of science communication, mostly through social media, sometimes through other sorts of media as well. Really excited to be here. I get a little competitive when it comes to games. So watch out, everyone.
Wonderful. Well, we've all been warned. There will be points awarded, 5 points per correct question, but we'll get to that in a second. So let's go ahead and get the rest of our panelists introduced. Dr. Hilding Nielsen, who's next up on our list. Hilding has done amazing work in indigenizing astronomy. He's been all over all kinds of Cepheid atmospheres and mass loss. He's done great things at the University of Toronto. And Hilding, tell us a little bit about yourself here.
Oh, thank you for inviting me. My name is Hilding Nielsen. I am Mi'kmaq from Western Newfoundland. I have problems with focusing on things, so I tend to work on lots of different things at once. I like studying massive stars, exoplanets, thinking back to how Indigenous views of the universe and astrobiology, and most recently working with groups like the International Astronomical Union and SATCON in the US to talk about how we deal with pesky satellite pollution and light pollution. So it's a great pleasure to be here, and I look forward to embarrassing myself.
Wonderful. That's exactly the spirit to take apart with the astronomy questions. So last but certainly not least, I must introduce Dr. Jess McIver, who we're absolutely thrilled to have here all the way over from University of British Columbia. And she's actually Canada Research Chair in Gravitational Wave Astrophysics. So super fun stuff. So Jess, tell us a little bit about what you do.
Hi, everybody. Great to be here. I'm joining you from the traditional unceded territory of the Musqueam people tonight. So yes, indeed, I do gravitational wave astrophysics. So I study black holes and neutron stars, and I do my astronomy with space-time and not with light or telescopes. So I think the other panelists may have an advantage over me there, but I'm also looking forward to embarrassing myself.
Wonderful. Well, we'll have to have a special category for most embarrassed at the end of the show. Thank you, everyone, for introducing yourselves. And let's, without further ado, go ahead and tell everybody what they're up against. So you are up against the following 3 games. So first of all, we're going to have you running with Space Place Canada, trying to identify some pictures. It's all about the pretty pictures. Then you are going to go over to RCI Science. We have Celia, who's going to run you through some questionable news. And finally, you will be subjected to the famous Alan I. Carswell Observatory Astronomers Challenge. The Astronomers Challenge, I will say a little bit about, because this will involve you getting secret words, which no one else can see. You'll be sent a secret chat message, and you'll have to describe that secret word with a list without using a list of extra words which are attached. So it makes for some very, very potentially embarrassing descriptions. So this actually fits in with what a few of our panelists are hoping to take away here. So if you are playing along in YouTube, make sure to post your answers. And I'll just say, if you are looking for points, I have pinned a message in YouTube saying, if you have collected 20 points or more, let us know. So please send a private message to the YorkU Observatory account, or observe at yorku.ca. So we'll put our email up there on YouTube as well. If you send us a private message saying that you've got your 20 points and you want one of the prizes, we have enough for the first 6 prize winners to get either you will get either a Space Place music download, which is planetary music, which sounds amazing, one of our famous Alan Kurzweil Observatory postcards, or an RCI membership. So those are the prizes we have on offer for today. And if you get a question right first, you get the 5 points. Now the YouTube score will be separate. So if you get your question right first on YouTube, you don't have to beat the panelists. So the panelists will have a separate contest here. So we'll go ahead and get started. So we're going to actually start with Space Place, and Julie, are you here to explain the game?
I am. Hello, everyone. Thanks for partnering with us on this evening. This is so exciting. I want to start by maybe not everyone in the audience tonight has heard of Space Place Canada. So just a quick word of introduction to our group. We are dedicated to bringing back an iconic, large planetarium, a modern planetarium to Toronto. We are one of, I believe, 2 world-class cities in the world to not have one, and it's time that we had one again. So that is our goal. So tonight's game, I am calling It's All About the Pretty Pictures. To quote one of my former classmates, when I was a student at York, he insisted that astronomy was all about the pretty pictures. So I had some fun with an image editor. I have pixelated, I have warped, I have manipulated a number of photographs of well-known astronomical objects, and it will be your job to tell me what you're looking at. Are we ready?
I think they are.
All right, let's do it.
So panelists are going to raise your hand. First one up gets to guess. So we do it that way, Julie?
Sure, sounds great.
All right, so I'll put you on your first one, and your mark, get set.
Any guesses?
Does anyone know? So let me know how fast you want me to proceed. Any guesses?
Any hands up? Anyone? Anyone?
Going once, going twice, and how about now? Do you know it? Who knows? Who knows what it is now? Can you identify? So you try to identify the picture. Can you get it?
That's right. Any thoughts, ideas? All right, let's go one more.
One more. All right, so who thinks they know? Hilding.
Oh.
You have a vote.
I hope it's Hubble Space Telescope.
Correct.
Yes, we have a winner. 5 points. And we have a winner over in chat as well. So mark yourself down for 5 points if you had the Hubble Space Telescope before it became clear. All right.
So all the photos from here on out were taken by Hubble.
So you have a little bit of an advantage now, Hilding. Excellent. Next up. There's no
penalties for guessing.
We have some there's no penalty. You can't get negative points. Sarah, go ahead.
Is this Jupiter?
Is it?
It is not Jupiter.
Oh! So close, so close. Very, very, very close, but it is in fact.
I think one more click will give you the.
Yes.
Yeah,
there we go. Mars Portrait 2016.
Yes.
Very, very close call. We did have a few guesses for Jupiter in chat as well, but Quentin got Mars. So congratulations over on YouTube. All right, next up, who's got a guess?
Maybe Elena, if it's an incorrect guess, we can just go ahead one and then give people more
Yeah,
chance.
we'll go slower next time.
All right.
Next one. All right, yes, Hilding.
Is it the Sombrero Galaxy?
Wow, you're good.
All right.
It is.
Wow.
Well done.
That was very fast. The Sombrero Galaxy, the Sombrero Galaxy. All right, next one. We're getting some good progress. Oh, that is very hard to see.
Yeah,
This is
one
going
might
to
be
be a
little
real challenge for
Oh.
people.
All
Sarah.
right, Sarah.
It's the Hubble Deep Field.
How picky do I want to be?
It's your game.
Just give me the score.
Do you have any other clarifications?
No, I'll give it to her.
Okay, we're going with. It is the extreme.
It's the extreme deep field, but I'll give it to you,
Extreme.
Sarah, because I wanted the deep field. It is my favorite of the deep fields, the OG deep field. I couldn't find it.
It is the extreme deep field, but as you said, if you are in YouTube chat, we are accepting deep field, I believe, Hubble deep field.
I mean, they're all similar.
Well, it looks like we did have Tom got it, so very good over in YouTube. So
Well done, Tom.
Yes. That does get you the 5 points. So give yourself 5 points for that. All right. Next one. Any guesses? Let's see. This is a really cool image. How did you make this?
I was playing with the zoom filter.
Well, we have a guess on chat from that it's Star Wars. So this was an image taken by Hubble, I believe you said.
Yes.
So unless Hubble imaged the Millennium Falcon, it would not, in fact, be Star Wars.
I personally, I thought the sombrero wound up looking like a bit like an X-wing.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Our own crew, Maheen has guessed some kind of nebula, which is quite close. Oh, Sarah, yeah, go ahead.
Is this the Cat's Eye Nebula?
It is not. Let's click one further.
All right, that's one further. Any other guesses? What, one further?
Yeah.
About now? Anyone got it?
Omega Centauri.
Omega Centauri, is that it?
No.
One more. Anyone else? not Omega Centauri. What, somebody in chat guessed
You've got
Horsehead.
one more.
One more. Let's see if we can
Click
clear it
till
up.
you've got the clear image.
Oh.
So this is the
Monoceros.
one that I threw in that no one knows the name of, but I would have accepted. It's that Firefox thing.
Well, we did have a guess for Rosette in Monoceros, actually.
Oh, well, there you go.
So that would definitely get you the 5 points. So that was a really, really challenging one, I have to say.
That was a challenging one. I like it because it's what the Firefox logo was based on.
It's very cool.
Yeah.
It is, in fact, Monocerotis. Is that what that is?
Yeah.
Monocerotis light echo. Yeah, that would be very hard to get the exact name for.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. No, I totally would have accepted that Firefox thing. Okay, this one's an easier one.
All right, an easy one. Definitely not a hard one. Okay, who wants to be brave and give this one a good guess? Going once, going twice. I'll click on it. Sarah, go ahead.
Sarah?
And then I'll maybe do the first click.
If this one's wrong, I'm going to stop guessing. Is this Neptune?
It is not Neptune.
Oh no, but don't stop guessing.
But I like where you were going. I see what you were thinking.
All right, one click. Any other guesses? This is hopefully helping.
Pleiades?
Sorry,
Pleiades.
Francis?
Is this the Pleiades?
Yeah,
It is the Pleiades.
you got it. You're on the scoreboard. It is the Pleiades, and Haley over on YouTube has it as well. So Parandis, you and Sarah are now tied. Excellent.
How are we doing for time?
You're doing very good. So I think
All right.
we're right on schedule. Next one is really, really cool looking.
I found the mosaic function.
So if you can deconstruct a mosaic function, you're basically able to solve this right now. Anyone want to give it a try? Oh yeah, one of our crew is guessing Pluto over in the extra chat.
I can see why you would think Pluto. Not
I'll
Pluto.
click on it once. Anyone else? Any brave panelists want to volunteer their idea what this might be? Some people over on YouTube guessing James Webb because of the shape. I could see why you would say that. The colors, maybe not.
Yeah. Also remembering that these are all Hubble images, and as far as I know, Hubble has not imaged James Webb.
So we'll go ahead and go one more. And it's a Hubble image. It's a Hubble image. What is it? Do you know? Actually, a lot of people thought it was James Webb over in the chat, but it's obviously not. So we'll go one more.
Yep. Oh, Hill-Jane.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Is it Jupiter?
Yes, it is
Yes.
Jupiter.
Dun, dun, dun. Jupiter's aurora. Jupiter gets you the points, though.
Yep.
Absolutely. Wonderful. Okay, so I think we've got enough time for another one, and this one was really cool looking. This is obviously not just pixelated. You've done some crazy distortions.
Oh, then I found the thing that let me do waves.
Okay, so your panelists, your hint is waves.
I could do sine waves, I could do triangle waves, I could do sawtooth waves. It brought me back to like physics labs with the oscilloscope.
All right, Jess, go ahead.
I wonder if it's the cat's eye.
Let's
It's
see.
not the cat's eye.
Okay, give it one click. It's not cat's eye, but is it a little clearer now?
Sarah?
Is it the Ring Nebula?
It is.
Dun, dun, dun. That's so cool because it looks really triangular and now it's actually really circular. All right, so that was Sarah. Ring Nebula from that crazy triangle. And some people were guessing Northern Lights, which would have been a good guess for the colors, actually. Okay, super dizzying one. I think I need to know what this filter was. Anyone want to guess?
That was the one that puts it through a rotation.
All right, so very, very dizzy something. Let's see. We have a guess for Crab Nebula over on a chat. Any panelists?
Also for Crab Nebula.
Parandis?
Yes.
Guessing Crab Nebula?
Yeah.
You would be correct.
Oh, there we go. Let's clear this up. It is. So the colors are really nice.
Aren't they? So pretty.
Excellent. Excellent. Oh,
And
very,
there's just
very artistic. All right, Parandis, you had that last one. Do you want to try this one
This
too?
is the last one.
Let's see. Okay, last one. Anyone? Jess, do you want to give it a go?
Yeah, I'm starting to see the disadvantage of never having looked at images for my research. I think I'll let someone else have a crack at it.
No worries, no worries. Lots of people giving some really fun guesses in YouTube chat. We have the guess of a tomato. So would the Hubble have been able to image a tomato? Hilding, go ahead. Oops.
Oh, never mind. I'm wrong.
Oh no! Wait, what were you going to say?
No. Definitely not those.
All right. Do you have another guess?
I do, but I can't remember which Messier number it is.
If you can remember kind of what it was called.
I'll pass.
Okay. Jess? Has a guess in chat.
You are correct, Jess.
Oh, in chat, yes, in Whirlpool.
Sorry, I got stuck unmuted.
Let's clear this up. Da-da-da. Whirlpool Galaxy M.
Whirlpool?
Very nice. Oh, and we did have somebody get it on YouTube as well. Very, very good. Well, everyone's on the points board and a whole bunch of people on YouTube as well. This is really, really fun. So thank you so much, Julie, and of course, Space Place as well for helping us out with this awesome game. Now, because we're in a hurry, we've got to move on to game number 2, which I believe is coming up next. Yep, here we go. So we're going to switch right over, and from IRCI Science, we have Celia Du, who is telling us some questionable news. So you want to give a little introduction?
Sure. Thank you for having us. So don't believe everything you read on the internet. We're presenting some questionable news astronomy edition. So we're going to do 3 rounds just to look at different clickbait headlines. And our first round is breaking news. We're going to present some headlines. Maybe they're real, maybe they're fake. It's up to you to guess. Now, don't question the science. We're all about if this headline was actually published to get you to click on the article. So are you all ready?
Yay.
We're going to do the first. We're going to do the first headline. It is, Earth is fighting a laser duel with the exploding Carina Nebula. So I think there is a screen grab to show the text, just in case you need a bit of help reading it. Now, is this real or fake? Do you think this was actually published? Did we make it up? I think we're pretty good at making up headlines at this point, but any guesses from any of our contestants? Anybody in the chat? Hilding, what do you think?
I honestly want this to be a real title, so I'm going to say yes.
Yes. Okay. You think it's real? Anyone else want to guess? Sarah, Jess.
I think
Brandon.
it's real. This is Brandis. I think it's real.
Brandis thinks it's real. Okay. Sarah.
I have
Let's
to see
go
a
with
fake
fake.
in. Yep. There you go.
Oh, you think it's fake, Sarah?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then Jess.
This seems like just the right kind of sensationalism that you might actually see. I think it's real.
We have some great guesses. It is actually real. So essentially, we aren't fighting a laser duel necessarily, but scientists were firing off some lasers from the Very Large Telescope to simulate distant stars to better calibrate the telescope so that they can look at the Carina Nebula and other similar objects. All right, good guessing. The next headline that we're going to have a guess at is size isn't everything when it comes to mass extinction. Any first stabs, real or fake?
Ooh, this is an interesting one.
I think it
Yeah,
should be real.
yeah.
This one should be real too.
Brandis thinks it's real. All right. Sarah, I see a thinking face. Do you have a guess?
I'm gonna go with real for this one.
I'm gonna go with real. Nice. Yeah, I see. Julie says it's real, just cheeky enough. What about Hilding? Do you have a guess?
Yeah, I feel like this is about an asteroid destroying the Earth, and the asteroid just wasn't that big.
And Jeff?
Yeah, I think I agree.
All right. Well, trick question. It is fake.
Oh.
But good guesses, because there were definitely similar ones. And you're right. The inspiration did come about talking about meteorites, and if they were to ever hit Earth, what really matters when it comes to mass extinction. So great guesses. Last one for this round. Astronomers find 5 dozen baby black holes in distant psychotic chaos galaxy. Lots of I think clickbaity keywords here. Yeah, we had to do it. We got to throw in all the words. So, any guesses from anybody?
I say this is real.
Brandon thinks it's real. All right. Good first guess. Hilding?
I don't understand. This is just weird. I'm just going to say no, because I don't know what a psychotic galaxy is.
I think it's really, taking in the vibe of the psychotic chaos. Like, the headline is also mirroring that vibe.
Can a galaxy be psychotic and chaotic?
I mean, a little bit redundant. Like, maybe they're both. Just to reiterate, just to make sure, right?
I'm also kind of curious. I think Jess probably can answer this. What makes a black hole a baby?
Well, it depends on your definition of formation, I suppose. What I really want to know is what makes a galaxy psychotic?
That's also another great question. So we're questioning the science here. Jess, you think it's real? I don't remember if I asked you at this point, because we're so focused on it being psychotic and chaotic.
Maybe hands up for real.
Yeah, this is a question in psychology, I think. I'm trying to get in the mindset of a BuzzFeed reporter. Would they interpret a busy globular cluster maybe as a psychotic chaos galaxy? Let's say yes. I'll go for it. Sure.
Okay, Jess, go for it. Prandis, you have your hand up?
Yeah, I just wanted to say I think it's true.
Okay, and I think Sarah in the comments said she thinks it's real. Indeed, it is real. This is a real headline, really conveying the chaotic energy. So apparently they found some really small black holes causing some nearby stars to move seemingly in near random patterns. And just their thoughts are that perhaps it could change the way we think about the formation of black holes. But definitely this headline might have gone a step too far. All right, so this was a great first round. Our second round is blankety blank. So we're going to give you real headlines once again, but we're going to take out a key word, and you've got to guess what word is missing here. All right? So the first headline is, the Milky Way has a broken blank.
Arm?
Ooh, Prandis, you said arm. All right. Maheen in our behind the scenes also says arm. Anyone else have a guess? Hilding?
Given the time frame, let's say heart.
Heart. Ooh, all right. We've got a couple of hearts as well in the comments, and Sarah also says arm. The answer is arm. The Milky Way is diagnosed with a broken arm. Basically, a splinter of gases and stars are jutting out, but it's not anything to worry about. It's just that Gaia made some measurements where you can kind of see it for the first time more clearly. All right. So, and Prandis has read this piece. That's perfect.
Yeah, that's fine.
I hope it was a good piece. The next headline is, the blank chaos within planetary systems. The blank chaos. Lots of chaos in these headlines. I think that's one of those key words to keep in mind.
Psychotic chaos.
Psychotic chaos. Ripping off of the last one for sure. All right. If we don't have any other guesses, crazy chaos. Yeah, we're really going for the redundancy. Oh, Hilding, yes, I see you.
For the oxymoron, the predictable chaos?
I like that. I like that oxymoron for sure. The answer is the cannibalistic chaos within planetary systems.
Oh, well,
So,
I liked Hilding's better.
I did too. I really like the whole, taken aback factor. So the cannibalistic chaos, essentially planets were kind of migrating as they're migrating through space and orbiting, kind of their orbit changes and then ends up where they originated from, basically kind of being engulfed by the sun or the star that they're orbiting around. All right. So the next one, the last one from this round is alien blank crashes into Earth.
We have some really wonderful guesses coming through. So this is a
Asteroid?
Asteroid, that's a good one. Sarah says ship. Okay. We've got saucer.
Yeah, it's this is a fun one. It's we could hope that it's a saucer.
Right. Yeah, I mean, definitely all of those UFO spottings would be aligned with this for sure.
Antimatter is a good guess.
Antimatter is a good guess, and it's the right guess. That is what the original headline was talking about.
Oh,
basically, yeah, with the IceCube Neutrino Observatory. It was what they were expecting to find. It just took a lot of time to get there, but it's not like we weren't expecting this particle, this antineutrino, to appear, and they were able to confirm its existence. So less scary, I think, than what the headline is actually trying to convey.
Yeah, it's antimatter, less scary. I mean, it's more, I don't know, more or less mysterious, but it's quite energetic. So
yeah. I think the alien really makes it even more mysterious and a little bit scary.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right. So everyone did a great job on round 2. Now, our next round is Clickbait Translator. So it is now your turn as contestants and in the audience to come up with these headlines. Now, before we make you do all of that, we do have some tips in terms of creating your own clickbait headline, what we call our BS bingo. So one of the first things to look for in a clickbait headline is over-the-top exaggerations, as we've seen in multiple examples already. Then you've got some easily refuted statements, some bold exclamations. A lot of them also prey on emotions like fear, disgust, or surprise. And also, a lot of them use celebrities and cute animals because who can resist, right? And the last one is all caps. If they're screaming the headline at you, definitely a clickbait headline. All right, so if we go on to the next couple slides, there we go, those are our tips. And the next one will generate our clickbait. So we've got Elon Musk. That's the subject of our headline, and the outcome is that threatens humanity. So anyone, I'll give you some time to sort of think about a headline. If you have one, raise your hand, write it in the chat. and feel free to vote for whichever one you like best. I don't want to make the decision here. But Elon Musk, I feel like it kind of wrote the headline by itself already.
It really did. I'm
bit.
tempted to go for something like, can you just pick something with Beetlejuice? Since because
change it to Beetlejuice. I mean, there are things in the middle, you know, you could add on to it. What about Elon Musk? You know, he's done a couple of space things that he's connected to Starlink, to Mars. I've seen headlines like, why hasn't Elon Musk been to space yet? So you can go negatory, you know.
Looks like you have some folks with some ideas. Perandis?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just thinking SpaceX's CEO's reckless driving threatens humanity.
Ooh, that's a good twist.
Yeah, there was that car, right?
Yes,
they launched a car up into space, so you know you could really do something with that.
For sure. And Hilding had a guess as well, or sorry, not a guess, but a headline to give us.
Sure. Will Elon Musk's Twitter feed cause Starlink to crash land on Earth?
Ooh, that's a good one. Sarah's got Elon Musk kills Twinkle Twinkle Little Star with his satellite. Oh, these are good. I don't know. I can't pick. Jess, did you have a headline to share?
Maybe Elon Musk satellites threaten to destroy baby planet. That being us.
I love, yes, add in the baby planet. I love that. Elena, do you have a favorite out of the ones that we've seen?
Oh, they're all so good. I think the little star. Elon Musk kills Twinkle Twinkle Little Star as a satellite. Yeah. That's very, very, very on point.
Yeah, I think that was really cute. That's awesome.
All right.
And yeah.
All right. So shall we? Let's see if I can get to the next one. Actually, there we go.
Okay. The next one, last one, is Uranus, and then something descends into chaos. So again, it kind of feels like it's being written already, but there's a lot to go there. You can use any of, I don't know if you know any fun facts about Uranus, but use any of those, kind of loop them into your headline. Yeah, so much chaos. We had to, keep going on with the chaos theme, apparently.
Is it psychotic chaos, though? That's the question.
Oh. I mean, who's to say? We could totally say descends into psychotic chaos.
We could, but no one should believe us. Looks like Perandis, your hand is still up. Are you? Do you have one for this?
Not yet. Sorry, I just had to forget.
Okay. And Hilding?
I feel like we should just keep it the Elon Musk. It's a lot easier.
Well, it's
for sure, the Elon Musk part.
It is an icy outer planet. Extremely cold temperatures has already been knocked on its axis. So maybe something to do with, something to do with that.
Yeah.
But descending into chaos is kind of hard to imagine unless we finally send that follow-up space mission that we really ought to be sending out to the icy outer solar system. And the spacecraft is called Chaos.
Yeah, there we go. And we could also turn the present tense into past tense. It descended into chaos at some point in time for some reason. Yeah. Hilding, do you still have your hand up? Is that from before?
Oh, sorry. How about Uranus threatens to leave the solar system, descends into chaos after figures out what his name actually means?
Oh,
wow. Yeah. Oh, that's a really good one. And I like how it's long.
It's a good one in chat as well. It's Uranus descends into chaos after NASA conducts nuclear test from Tushar over on YouTube chat. Very, very nice. That's
love it. Sarah's got Uranus swinging from the chandelier. ... Someone can finish that off if there's an idea there. But I like that start, swinging from the chandelier. All right. Well, I'm going to give that point to Hilden because I think that was, brilliant. Yeah, and great job, everybody. That was so much fun. Thank you for playing along with our headline game.
Very nice. And I think, I still wish we could had time to do a Beetlejuice one, but unfortunately we have to play 3 games during this whole session. So we're zooming along. Thank you so much, Celia, and of course, RCI Science. And we have a couple of your little events listed at the end. Was there any other message that you wanted to put in before we switch over?
No, I think we're good.
Excellent. All right. Well, in that case, panelists, I hope your seatbelts are buckled and in their upright positions, or whatever we're calling this astronomy ride today, because now we have Astronomicers. So Dean, do you have your description ready to go?
Yeah. So welcome to the third round, everyone. We're going to be playing Astronomicers. I'll go over the rules really quickly. So basically, I have a list of astronomical objects and a list of banned words for each object. And I'm going to secretly send the astronomical object and its corresponding list of banned words to someone. And then that person will have to describe the object without using any of those words. And then the rest of us will have to guess what that object could be. And then the first person to guess what the object is awarded 5 points, as well as the person that's describing it, because they did a good job describing it. And then everyone in the chat can also guess, and then they can also, be awarded points. Professor Hyde, do you mind participating in an example?
I think that's a great idea.
So I'll just tell everyone what this word is for now. Or do you want to do an example? Yeah, let's do an example. So the first example, for example, it's going to be space station mirror. So I'm going to be sending this to Professor Hyde. And then she will describe space station mirror without saying the words Russian, orbiting, astronaut, and Earth.
All right, so this is where it's just an example, because you wouldn't actually know that it was space station mirror that I was trying to explain here. You'd have to be able to guess that based off of this explanation, where I have to tell you that there's a thing going around. There used to be a thing going around the planet that we live on, that people could walk around in, and it was crashed into the ocean at some point. Part of it, I think, landed in Australia. Does anyone know what I mean yet? Right? And so basically you have to create that description until someone can guess it. And you keep going for either 60 seconds or until someone guesses it. And if nobody can guess it, then your explanation wasn't very good, or it was too hard. If someone guesses it very, very fast, they get 5 points and you get 5 points, and then the next person gets to go. Is that about helpful? So then I think Deanne, if you're, does everyone understand the rules now? Let's see what we got on YouTube chat.
Okay, so do we have a first volunteer who wants to describe the word? So anyone can raise their hand.
We've got about one for each of our panelists. So whoever wants to go first, a brave first person.
Okay, so I'm sending you the first word now with it's Jess. So I'm sending Jess the first word with its list of banned words.
Excellent.
Do you have it?
Oh man, that's a tough one. Okay.
All right, so this is Jess McIver on her mystery description, where you're all going to try to guess what she's trying to describe.
Okay, are proper nouns allowed? Can I say somebody's name?
As long as you don't use anything in the band list.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna go for Neil Armstrong.
Oh, that's good.
Okay, so as soon as you know, speak up, Sarah.
Apollo mission.
Think
Kind
maybe bigger.
Keep going.
I thought for sure that. Okay, let me see. What else do I have? Let's see. One small step for a man. The place where that happened.
Oh, someone has their hand raised.
A moon landing?
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
the moon.
Oh, so
But
close.
you have to get the exact word.
Oh.
So
Nope.
close.
I think that's close. The place where that happened. It's close enough. Yeah, good job.
All right, so you're the place where that happened. Obviously, Maheen got it. Hilding, you basically got it. It is the moon.
Did anyone in the chat get it?
We did. We have Brother and Neil Fig, Daniel as well. So congratulations, folks over on chat. You did get it. So you obviously want to keep going with your explanations as much as you can, so somebody has a best chance of getting it. Wonderful, Deanne.
Okay, so now I'll be sending the next word over to Dr. Hilding Nielsen. And you'll have to describe this word that I'm sending over now. Did you get it?
I got it. Yeah, this is going to be hard. Constellation of person, part of them. Beautiful Hubble picture.
Very good.
Orion.
Ooh, yeah.
Oh, so close. Jess in chat.
Oh, I was gonna guess Orion's
got it
Nebula.
exactly.
Yes, the nebula.
Excellent.
So that's 5 points.
So Jess in chat had the exact match, I think.
Yeah.
All right, so that's 5 points each. Good job.
Since she already went, does anyone else want to volunteer to describe a word?
Yeah, we got. I think just whoever's next.
I'll go next.
Okay, I'm sending you over the next word now.
Excellent. Oh, and that's the solution. So this was a little harder. Not as many people got the last one on YouTube. There's a couple close guesses, but it's more of a challenge. And now you've sent that next one off to Perandis?
Yeah.
Time machine?
Okay.
A time machine?
Excellent. So keep in mind the thing that you're supposed to guess is usually very short. So feel free to put out guesses and hints.
A black hole.
That's a good guess. That's not it. Perandis?
Herschel?
All right. Can you say anything else to enlighten us? Let's see if we got any. It's a hard one.
I can give a hint.
Yes.
Okay, so it's not in space, but it doesn't stop it from exploring. That's the hint.
Okay, and maybe I have one more. Tycho Brahe didn't have one.
Can I try again?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to say either a nose or a telescope.
Yes.
That's headed in the chat too.
Right. Yeah, that's right. Telescope. Yeah.
Yay. Telescopes.
Then we
Hooray.
have
I
one
stole
more word.
the description from Elena's motto.
I know, if you've ever gotten an email from me, you would know this. And some funny votes from chat. We did have one winner. Daniel got telescope. Quentin said space-time continuum, which is pretty cool. All right.
So one more word. Who am I sending this to?
Who hasn't gone yet?
Me.
Okay. Get to Sarah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Top secret word with a whole bunch of extra things that you're not allowed to say.
Okay, we had one this past summer, I think. It casts a shadow. You could see.
And a solar eclipse.
Yes.
Excellent.
I think that's
Excellent.
everyone.
Yeah, and just as a note, solar eclipse was described without saying sun, earth, moon, dark, alignment, light, or occultation. So very nicely done and very fast.
Yeah, I think that ends our game.
There is one extra bonus round. If anybody would like to take the challenge question. We do have one extra challenge question that I think, Deanne, you can probably send.
Yeah.
I'll go for it.
Excellent. So that's Parandas coming to the rescue. Last challenge question. And this is actually your last chance to gain points for the evening. So last chance to gain points.
Okay, this one's a little difficult. I'm sending it now.
Whoops. I think I might have a missing slide here somewhere.
An astronomer. Catalog.
What was the last clue?
Catalog.
Messier.
That's right.
Oh,
Excellent. Excellent. For the win. For the win. Wonderful job, everyone. So that is another 5 points if you are playing along. Sorry, I lost my slide there for a second, but your last answer was Messier. I had to take you on a short slide tour to get there. And that was without saying galaxies, nebula, clusters, dim, telescope, or space. So we now have a quick question round just from our for our panelists, because we have 4 amazing people tonight. We just had to put in at least one question to each of you. So for our last one, I don't know if this is for points or not. You won't be scored on your response, but let's go ahead and just do a couple quick questions for each of our panelists, as long as we've got you here. And the first one is actually coming from ARFA for Dr. Hilding Nilsson. ARFA, take it away. Oh, sorry, everyone. We seem to have lost ARFA. But I have her question here for you. So I am actually going to play the part of ARFA very quickly. So Dr. Hilding Nilsson, your question is for the evening, for exoplanets, are we looking for exoplanets like Earth, or do we have a broader vision when searching for life on other planets?
I think for most scientists, the idea for finding life is really to look for something that's Earth-like, because all the evidence we have and everything we know is really based on life starts with life on Earth. But I think that's kind of boring too. I think we should be looking everywhere for signs of life, whether it's looking for methane or ozone around bigger planets or smaller planets, or even looking for weird anomalies in the atmosphere of Venus. So I think typically we tend to think very much like about Earth-like objects, but why not search more broadly and hope that maybe we'll get lucky and find something interesting, or at least or we'll know what the conditions for life are in general more in a better way.
Wonderful. And just as a little reminder, if folks do want to find out more about you and your research outside of this, do you have a website or a Twitter handle you'd like to share with us?
I do. My website is hildingnielsen.com. My Twitter handle is a little harder to say because I use the Mi'kmaq word for robin in it, which is Astro-Jipshua.
Well, don't worry, everyone. If you do search for his name as well, it will come up right away. So the spelling shouldn't be a problem. Wonderful. So thank you so much. Next up on our questions list, Maheen has a question for Dr. Sarah Masri. Take it away, Maheen.
So my question is that while researching, I found that you discovered your interest in space or astronomy at an early age. So it made me curious as to how and what exactly sparked your interest in this field.
That's such a good question. Yeah, it was at an early age, but I loved things that I kept hearing, oh, this is a solar eclipse, but it's sort of like a once in a lifetime thing, or look at this bright comet. It doesn't happen that often. So things that were, outside of the ordinary, everyday today really sparked my interest. Also, things that had nothing to do with the Earth or the people on it was also very interesting to me. But what I love about space and astronomy is that I feel like there's so much that we still don't know. And the more we find out, the more unknowns there are. So I think the fact that everyone has a chance to discover something new or learn something new every day got me super excited and interested about space and astronomy.
Interesting. Nice to hear your thoughts. Thank you.
Wonderful. And Dr. Sarah Masri, do you also have a website or a Twitter handle if folks want to find out a little bit more about you afterwards?
Yeah, so my website is just sarahmasri.com. And you can find me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram on psychomsarah.
Wonderful. So very reachable. And next up, we have an extra question, which is actually coming in from Sergey remotely for Dr. Parandis Hajbak. And let's go ahead and go over to that. So Parandis, how does music interact with astronomy for you? Tell us a little bit about it.
Oh, wow. That's a beautiful question. I think they just both bring about that sense of awe, for me, looking at the space or listening to a beautiful piece of music. But I mean, music and astronomy have been historically very much related to each other, with the idea of musica universalis, the idea that the proportions in the movement of celestial bodies in the orbits of the celestial bodies produce a harmonious sound frequency. And Kepler was saying that we probably cannot hear it, but we feel it in our soul. And I mean, so a lot of people who were astronomers in the past were also interested in the question of music. The other example that I can give is Christian Huygens, who writes about the possibility that extraterrestrials might have music, and if they have music, it might be very much like our own music. And again, I mean, in our modern times, the Voyager Golden Records with 90 minutes of music that were sent into space, to show, in the words of Carl Sagan, that we are feeling creatures. So, I mean, both of them, I feel like they are very, very much related to each other because they connect us to a larger reality.
Wonderful. And just as a rounding off as well, do you, if folks want to get in contact with you or find out more about you, do you have any website or media handles?
Yeah, sure. So my website is just my first name, last name.ca, parandistouchback.ca. Yeah, I am on LinkedIn, but no, I don't have a Twitter handle.
That's okay. You don't have to be on all the channels. It's totally optional. So wonderful. And yes, check out her website if you want to know more. Thank you so much for being on. And finally, we have one more panelist here. So we have a question for Dr. Jess McIver from Matt. Matt, take it away.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. So my question is, in your opinion, what has been the most challenging part about focusing on studying gravitational waves? And what would you expect to find or, I don't know, observe or detect there in the near future?
That's a great question. So let's see. I think it was really challenging to have an experiment that, it always felt like it was right on the horizon. So I joined the LEGO collaboration back in 2007, and that we were making wonderful progress, but pushing the noise floor of the detectors down so that we could see further out into space. And it was challenging to think about framing everything in terms of possibility when we hadn't yet had a really confident detection, but that all changed after the first discovery in 2015, and we started seeing even unexpected features. We started uncovering this mass of stellar remnants that we didn't necessarily expect to find. And I think that that's really exciting. And if you're ever feeling bummed about the news or the state of the world, I think right now is a really, really exciting time to be paying attention to astronomy. We've got all of these new observatories and experiments coming online. So LIGO and Virgo are going to start data taking again at the end of this year. And who knows what we're going to see. I think that's maybe the thing I'm most excited about, is discovering something we're maybe not expecting at all.
Wonderful. That is absolutely, I agree. It's just so worthwhile looking out there for the real astronomy news, shall I say. And Jess, do you also have a contact that people can reach you at if they're trying to find out a little bit more about you, or maybe a website?
So I'm also not on Twitter, but you can certainly find me if you look for me, I think, through UBC's website.
Oh, wonderful. All right. Well, then that is the last of our panelists' questions. If you have other questions from our panelists, you will have to reach out in other ways. You have all their information. So I'm going to go ahead and say thanks everyone for playing. If you did get over 20 points, let us know, and we'll see about getting one of those prizes out to you. And thanks to all of our panelists. You all got lots and lots of points. It was actually a very, very close call, so I'm making it a 4-way tie. And let's go ahead and round off here. I'll let our panelists know it is now safe to turn off your videos and microphones, and I'm going to pass this over to Maheen for our official end of the show outro. So thank you, everyone, and take it away, Maheen.
Well, everyone, you have been listening to the Alumni Parcel Observatory's weekly Teletube broadcast, the online astronomy and astrophysics program, written and presented by the students, faculty, alumni, and friends of York University. The hosts this evening have been Dr. Hyde, Arfa, Matt, Tian, Sergey, and myself, Mahi. We were also accompanied by Celia Dew from RCI Science, as well as Carrie, Julie, and Kristen from Spaceflight. A special thanks to our panelists, Dr. Jess McIver, Dr. Parandis Tajbaksh, Dr. Sarah Mesrui, and Dr. Hilding Nielsen for joining us tonight. Coming up at RCI Science, they're digging into the future of food, from lab-grown meat to food innovations in space. Join in live on Sunday, March 27th from 2 p.m. Eastern. Subscribe to their newsletter for early updates by visiting rciscience.ca, and subscribe or follow along on social media at RCI Science. Nominations are now open for RCI Science's annual awards recognizing excellence in science communication by a Canadian individual or organization. The deadline to nominate your SciComm superstars is March 31st. Details on the website rciscience.ca. Space Plus wishes to thank its sponsors for tonight's events. Their Jupiter sponsors is MDA, and their Mercury sponsors are Global Public Affairs and Stadia. They have lots of great events coming up this spring, starting with a tour of the Alni Carswell Observatory on March 9th, followed up by a warm-up for the lunar eclipse on May 5th with Dr. Sarah Missouri, and on May 19th, Canada Arm and collaboration with Elizabeth Howell. Details can be found at spaceplacecanada.ca. Thanks to RCI Science and Spaceplace Canada for partnering with us tonight. All of our programs are free, but if you would like to make a donation, see our website at observatory.info.yourq.ca. Thanks for tuning in. Clear skies and have a good night.